cause I'm a different breed, they call me alien.
What is goody, my fellow plebeians, anons, and based individuals? We are finally on, I believe this is part 6. No, we're on part 7 of the Giants Are Clowns conspiracy. Okay. As always, let's get into it. Make sure you guys follow, support his Patreon, Conspiracy Are Us, and we gonna get into it. Predictive programming. I'm already in too deep. I can't stop now. I can't. I might take a break. I can't stop now. Before 2016, there was another incident, the Phantom Clown Scare. So there was another clown sighting epidemic in 1981. Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome back for another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Nephilim look-like clowns with a focus on the Phantom Clown Scare of 1981. Now, once again, I thought I was retired, but I came across some more information that I found really interesting, so I wanted to present it to you guys. Maybe you'll
just like me,
feel the same way. So let's get into it. Now, prior to 2016, the clown panic, I wasn't aware of any other clown scares in our past, but turns out in 1981 that was the precursor to what happened in 2016. And you have articles like this talking about these phantom clowns terrorizing the US since 1981, and there's other articles saying the creepy clown sightings actually started in the 80s. And I just put together several of these articles just mentioning how the clown scare of 1981 might have started in Massachusetts and it appeared across Boston. So there is an interesting aspect to this clown scare.
Maybe there's a cult. The cult of the clowns. I mean, the Masons are doing it. You've seen the Shriners and the Jesters. Let's go.
1981. Because when we start to look at it and then look at what happened in 2016, we're going to see a whole lot of similarities. And it almost looks like in both cases, a lot of this has been engineered. So we're going to look at that. So we have these...
Told you, that's cultish activity.
Sightings of clowns in 1981 primarily. Shit. So let's get a little more detailed information from some of these articles. Basically, you had children were reporting that evil clowns attempted to lure them into vans. And the clowns were actually never seen by adults. And there were no arrests, no photographs, and no evidence, and no abductions. And this person here, Lauren Coleman, I guess he coined the term phantom clowns. But to this day...
He's a cryptozoologist, huh?
The 1981 phantom clowns remains a total mystery. Okay, so we've got all these sightings of clowns by children, and these clowns are attempting to lure children into vans. That'll come into play later. And back in 2016, they interviewed this person again, this Lauren Coleman. He was just talking about the phantom clown theory that dates back to 1981. Okay, so what was the other thing that happened in early 1980s as well?
The Satanic Panic.
And I'm just going to refer to it as the panic, just to try to avoid the algorithm. But there was a lot of concern and a lot of panic with regards to this right here. So that was the second thing that was going on in and around that time frame. And the third thing, as you can see here, you had the rise of Dungeons and Dragons. How Dungeons and Dragons became a part of the 1980s panic. What I'm trying to lay out, there's a whole chain of events here. You have these clown sightings.
What's crazy to me, bro, is like, I don't see how Dungeons and Dragons could be equated to Satanism. I still need to see like what they be talking about, bro. If there is a solid connection, I might say, oh, okay, I see where they can get this. But a lot of it is just like stupid, bro. They it's like how they did with Pokemon. Like they couldn't find an actual thing, so they just like broke down at every little like semantical grammar argument, like Pokemon, aka pocket monsters. They're monsters in your pocket. Like, bro, it was so stupid, bro. If you ever watch those videos about like pedalophobian, bro, the like meme videos where he like finds how anything can be connected to the Illuminati, bro, it's hilarious.
You have the rise of this panic, and then you also have the rise and the spread of Dungeons and Dragons. And it turned out that there was a book written in 1981,
Mazes and Monsters,
called Mazes and Monsters, and they adapted that into a made-for-TV movie called Mazes and Monsters, and it featured actually Tom Hanks. I think it was
Tim Hanks, if you get the reference comment.
Maybe his first starring role. But interesting thing about that book cover, looks a little suspect, doesn't it? If we turn it on its side, an interesting number. But getting back to the made-for-TV movie, Mazes and Monsters, they actually flashed this graphic right at the beginning of the movie.
Now, what that look like? Turn it to the side. Come on.
So,
he finna get
just
into
an
it.
Interesting side note, but
now, don't that look like? All right, you turn this to the side. B-O-B. Bob. We got another connection to Bob, guys.
Right at the beginning of the movie. So, just an interesting side note. But another thing about the whole Mazes and Monsters and what happened around this time, there was a missing student who they believed was lost in tunnels, and there was a big media frenzy around it. There was a search to find this person who went missing, the student, and it turned out that I guess he wasn't down there, but the media was running with it anyway, and just a big debacle. But tunnels features into this as well. There's a big focus on tunnels, on Dungeons and Dragons, and on the panic, and on the clown sightings, and also what happens after all of them.
Whoa, that does make sense though. I forgot. If you like referencing the other stuff about how like the clowns, the kids and stuff, if you read it, bro, this makes a lot more sense. I read that entire book, bro. This makes a lot more sense.
This, after the clown scare, you have the release of Stephen King's It. Now it's a little bit later, 5 years after the clown scare of 81, but Pennywise is introduced after the fact. So that's an interesting change.
And that's the thing, bro. Like, a lot of Stephen King's books, bro, like they may be like I don't know, bro. His mind is so amazing if he just thought of this straight out of his head, because there's so much connections to so many different things within the lore. I just like to call it the lore, but it's just like conspiracy, history. Like, conspiracy ties in everything, but I just like to call it the lore. Okay, we're gonna call it the lore from now on. But there's so much stuff that ties into the lore that just like, you realize so much stuff. Especially, I read that book when I was like, I read that book years ago. Like,
of events. Well, let's flash forward to 2016 when you had the clown panic of that year. So police were on alert as clowns try to lure children into the woods. So we had in 1981, there were clowns trying to lure children into vans, and 2016, clowns trying to lure children into the woods. And crisis got so bad, the White House is deferring to the FBI. Stephen King hits hysteria, and apparently the World Clown Association is not happy, or was not happy, about these people dressing up as clowns.
What if the World Clown Association is run by the spiritual DMT clown jesters that are trying to kill everybody? I don't know if they're trying to kill anybody. We don't know what they're trying to do, but I'm just saying. Again, this is in Minecraft. It's not real unless it's proven real. So
now you had this craze was sweeping social media, including Twitter. So we had all these clown sightings once again. And just like in 1981, then what else went viral in 2016? I'm not going to use this word. I'm just going to say gate, try to avoid the algorithm. But this whole situation involving gate happened, went viral, and it was actually referred to as the panic of our age. So the panic related to this subject ramped up again in 2016, just like it did in 1981. Interesting. And there was another offshoot of the gate, and that is underground tunnels. Once again,
That's the crazy part, bro. That's the crazy part, bro. It's like this is all connected, bro. The lore just deepens, it thickens, it thickens, it thickens, it thickens. You guys are watching my descent into madness.
and these things just keep popping back up. So again, I think all this, yeah, it's engineered. I don't doubt there's a reality to a lot of these things. I'm not saying there's no truth in them. I'm just saying they were being spread by the mainstream, and they're fanning the flames. Now, what happens after these things? What else happens in 2016? You have the release of Stranger Things. And what is a aspect of Stranger Things? It is Dungeons and Dragons. You had
And MK Ultra.
the real star of Stranger.
Remember, it's Stranger Things is essentially based off of MK Ultra, bro. Like the entire series is based off of the MK Ultra project. I think it was either Montauk or Stargate, but it's based off. That's what Stranger Things is based off of. So
Stranger Things is Dungeons and Dragons. So the rise in popularity of Dungeons and Dragons is a direct result of Stranger Things. And they're still, I think, in season 4 of Stranger Things, it's even featured a little more prominently. It's just the timing of it all, you know, it's just so interesting. We got, just like in 81, we have the clowns trying to lure children, all the clown sightings. Then we have the rise of this panic that goes viral due to this, and it involves these tunnels as well. And then we have the Stranger Thing rolls out, and they reintroduce Dungeons and Dragons to the main.
all of these, like, as I watch this is all just adding into the grand unified conspiracy theory, bro. Like, no cap. If you know what the grand unified conspiracy theory is, you'll know. Like, you're in the know if you know what that is, bro. No cap, because there's so much stuff that happens that, like, every day you will find pieces that lead directly into the grand unified conspiracy theory. And it's all leading up to what is happening this year and the following years that are coming up. A lot more stuff is coming out. A lot more information is going to be open source. A lot more pieces are going to get put together slowly. And then we're going to realize, dang, the deep state already happened.
Mainstream, like, once again. And what comes after this, the next year, the movie It is it comes back to the big screen. And yeah, there's just these eerie similarities. And I don't think they're just coincidences. I think this was crafted. I think these events were crafted. And this is just an article. I guess because of release of the movie in 2017, people were interested in getting their hands on the 1986 novel, It by Stephen King. And this is just some bookstore in London, Ontario, saying they were out of the book from 1986. So just fascinating. Like, I just never really, I didn't even know about the 1981 scare. And I didn't realize, like, they're all the similar events: the panic, Dungeons and Dragons, the clown sightings, tunnels, and the release of the book. And in 2016 and 17, you have the movie instead of the book. Just wild stuff. So I just wanted to bring this to your guys' attention, and I think I'll leave it here with that. But let me just do a quick update.
Again with the Bob. We got another Bob. We got another Bob. We got another Bob. We got another Bob. All right, come on.
Update on B.O.B. Now, somebody mentioned this song that came out by Outkast called Bombs Over Baghdad, and I've heard of this song. I just didn't know that it was actually also referred to as B.O.B., and it was written like this. I've never actually seen the video, but I've heard the song, but I wasn't aware that
And
it was.
we all know about Outkast, okay? Awareness is strong with these people.
laid out like that. And of course, when you watch the video, there's just a ton of references to Bob. and you have the obligatory person with a painted white face. And I came across another song called the Bob song. That was.
And what blows me is when you when like a lot of these people who propagate conspiracy theories on like YouTube and stuff, like they wash them down. They talk about, oh, it's just satanic imagery. I'm like, bro, there's more specifics to the imagery that you're talking about, but you guys just like to say satanic or occult without actually going into descriptions. And I get it, YouTube will snipe you like. No, bro, it's open source information. At this point, it's all open source information. You can say things. You just can't say things. Y'all know what I'm saying. Especially if a content creator is watching this, you know what I'm saying, bro. Like, come on.
Was sung by Willie Nelson, but it was actually first released by this duo, Big and Rich, in 2004. But some of the lyrics, it just talks about once knowing a pirate named Bob, and then actually spells out B.O.B. Bob, and then B.O.B. Bob again. So it's kind of this repetition. You know, I just wonder if they're working these things into some of these songs, because B.O.B. pops up a lot. And this whole Bob Dobbs, I've mentioned. And
y'all remember my Antarctica story. I don't know if y'all remember the Antarctica stream. I can do a video talking about the story again.
But this song from the Monkees called
into the
Zilch
Antarctica
in 1966.
There's a reason. The name of this channel is the name of this channel. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
7, it has this repetitive pattern with Bob and Bob Dobbs. And you can also see that, I think this was Del, the Funky Homo Sapien, Mr. Doubleina. Some of the lyrics talk about Bob and Bob Dobbs again, and it repeats. And then there was the song by, Think For Yourself by the Cottonmouth Kings, featuring the Insane Clown Posse. And there were some lyrics that were repetitive, talking about Mr. Bob Dobbs, Bob Doubleina, all that stuff. So it appears in many, many songs, and you have to wonder what they're getting at. So that's all I have with regards to that, and I think that's about it for today. But I have an idea for one more video, actually, with regards to another subject. So
alright, that's it for part 7. We will continue this in a jiffy. I hope you guys enjoyed. Remember, D34D. We're all dead. 3 + 4 = 7. It's the year of the 7. We're killing all the demons. Remember that. Well, please like, subscribe, comment, do whatever, and adios.
You're dead in my eyes once you try to play. No, there ain't no saving. You'll die in your place. Try to walk all over me. I am not a doormat. Trying to talk down on me. I'ma just ignore that. Hopping in the whip quick. I'm turning ignition. Swerving right past him. I'ma have to ditch. Send him to the ICU. This blade gon' dissect him. I'm a big baller. Young David Beckham.